The first time he feels her presence, it isn't dramatic. There's no music, no shadow in the corner, no sudden fear. It's subtle. A thought that doesn't feel like his own. A feeling that lingers long after it should fade. He doesn't see her yet, but he feels watched, understood, exposed. And that's what makes it unsettling. Because whatever is watching him knows him too well. He starts noticing patterns. Every time he's alone, she feels closer. Every time he suppresses a thought, avoids a memory, or lies to himself, her presence intensifies. She doesn't interrupt his life, she mirrors it. And that's the first clue most people miss. The woman who haunts him isn't chasing him. She's reflecting him. Psychology tells us that the mind doesn't like emptiness. When emotions are ignored, when desires are denied, when fears are buried, the subconscious doesn't destroy them. It gives them form. And sometimes, that form feels like someone else, someone watching from the inside. He begins to imagine her face. Not clearly. It changes. Sometimes she looks familiar. Sometimes she looks like a stranger. But her eyes always feel the same, calm, observant, almost disappointed. She doesn't judge him out loud. She doesn't need to. Her silence does the work. Silence is powerful because it forces him to fill it with meaning. This is where dark psychology becomes uncomfortable, because the mind's most powerful illusions are not fantasies. They're defenses. When a man cannot accept parts of himself, he projects them outward. Carl Jung called this the shadow. The shadow isn't evil. It's everything we refuse to acknowledge. And when ignored long enough, it doesn't stay quiet. She appears in his thoughts when he's about to make a choice, when he's about to repeat a mistake, when he's about to betray himself again. She doesn't stop him. She watches, and that watching creates pressure, because deep down, he knows she represents the truth he's avoiding. The haunting doesn't come from fear of her. It comes from recognition. Something about her feels personal, intimate, too close. She knows his insecurities before he names them. She knows the version of him he pretends not to be. That's why she feels unreal. Because reality would be easier. A real woman could be blamed, ignored, or left behind. A reflection cannot. The brain is designed to protect identity. When identity is threatened, it creates distance. It externalizes conflict. That's why people say, a part of me wants this, instead of I want this. The mind splits. Not because it's broken, but because it's overwhelmed. And when that split becomes emotional, symbolic figures are born. She is not random. She represents suppressed attraction, repressed anger, unexpressed vulnerability, or denied power. In dark feminine psychology, this inner feminine is not softness. It's intuition, perception, emotional truth. When a man disconnects from it, it doesn't disappear. It watches. Her presence intensifies at night, not because darkness creates fear, but because silence removes distraction. During the day, he can drown himself in noise, work, screens, conversations. At night, the mind speaks louder, and she listens. He starts asking himself questions he avoided for years. Why do certain patterns repeat? Why does success feel empty? Why do relationships feel unfinished? Why does desire turn into self-sabotage? Every answer points inward, and every inward glance makes her clearer. This is not madness. This is integration trying to happen. Psychology shows that the mind seeks wholeness. When parts are rejected, symptoms appear. Anxiety, obsession, emotional haunting. The figure of her is not the problem. She is the message. The most disturbing realization comes slowly. She doesn't want to hurt him. She wants to be seen. Because once acknowledged, she dissolves, not into nothing, but into awareness. The haunting stops when reflection becomes recognition. But most people never reach that point. They run. They label it anxiety. They distract themselves. They chase external validation. And the reflection grows stronger, because what you resist persists. There's a reason this theme appears in films, literature, and dreams across cultures. The woman as mirror, the feminine as subconscious truth, the haunting figure that knows too much. These are not stories. They are psychological metaphors, passed down because they are universal. He realizes something frightening, yet freeing. She doesn't exist independently. She moves when he moves. She reacts when he lies to himself. She fades when he becomes honest. She is not controlling him. She is revealing him. And that's why she feels dangerous. Truth threatens comfort. Self-awareness threatens illusion. Growth threatens identity. The mind fears losing who it thinks it is. So it creates a haunting instead of a transformation. When he finally looks at her without fear, something shifts. She doesn't disappear instantly. She softens. Her presence becomes quieter. Not because she's gone, but because she's no longer needed as a symbol. This is the point where many people stop watching, because the answer isn't supernatural, it's psychological. And psychology doesn't offer escape, it offers responsibility. The woman who haunts him is not a curse, she's a signal. A reminder that something within him wants integration, wants acknowledgement, wants honesty. If you've ever felt watched by your own thoughts, disturbed by a presence that feels intimate yet distant, unsettled by patterns you can't explain, this isn't weakness, it's awareness knocking. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The more you deny her, the stronger she feels. The more you confront her, the more she transforms. Because reflections only haunt those who refuse to look. Most people think dark psychology is about manipulation, control, and power. But the darkest psychological truths are internal. They reveal how deeply the mind protects itself from growth. She was never there to scare him. She was there to show him what he avoids becoming. If this resonated with you, stay with the channel. Because the next video goes even deeper into the psychology of the shadow self and subconscious attraction patterns.